What's going on, everybody? We are in the middle of the biggest heat wave I've ever known in the UK right now.
Quite incredible and scary.
Bring the devil from hell and have him sit his ass crack on earth. Unacceptable.
It is unbearably hot. It's about 40 degrees here, which, to be fair, when you go on holiday and stuff, places is 39, 40 degrees, and usually you don't feel it quite like you do here.
Come on, it is well hot.
But anyway, today I thought I'd come back with another Sony ZV-1 video, as the last one performed quite well on the channel. I was quite happy, had a lot of nice comments and a lot of messages from people asking more information about the Sony ZV-1. And as it's currently the camera that I'm using the most at the moment, it's the only camera I actually own myself, I thought I'd bring another video out and answer some of your questions and what you want to know about this camera. So the first question is, do I shoot my talking head pieces with the Sony ZV-1? And the answer is yes, I do. I have a little tripod at home, I set it up on there and I use it for that, and it does the job really well. It's not really what the Sony ZV-1 is purpose built for, but I just find it works well. It does what I need it to do. It has that nice background defocus, so that anything in my background, like my Mac or my TV or anything, has a nice blurred effect, and it focuses on me really well and holds focus even if I move my hands around. And it's good for showcasing products with the product showcase mode. I use it a lot for my talking head pieces because obviously it's the only camera I have, but it is really good at doing that anyway, and I will continue to use it in my future videos. So I just decided to sit down under the shade of a tree. The heat is just unbearable today. So the next question that people wanted to know was, do I have any accessories yet for the Sony ZV-1? And the answer is no. Currently I do not have any extra accessories, but I am looking into buying quite a few different ones. Currently I'm looking into buying a cage for the Sony ZV-1, because one problem I encountered since the 24-hour review video that I did, the area on the camera where you take the batteries out is a bit of an annoying place to have it. Because when it's on a tripod or when it's on a gimbal, you have to take it off the tripod or take the gimbal off in order to remove the battery and swap in a new one, which is a problem for me when I'm doing my talking head pieces and say I need to swap a battery around. I need to take it off the tripod and it's just a bit of a faff. Whereas if you have a cage, it basically relocates the position where you screw in a tripod so that you can fully open the battery port, which is really helpful, really useful. So that's one thing I'm looking at getting. I've also been having a look online at getting a stabilizer for the Sony ZV-1. One in particular that I've been looking at is the Zion Crane M2, which looks like a fantastic gimbal, purpose-built for cameras like this, the Sony ZV-1. That is something I'm hoping to get in the future. But there's just so many bits of equipment that I want to get for this to complete this camera, to really make it a beast of a camera. But yeah, I'd rather get everything in just one go and have a complete camera right from the off than to just build it up really, really slowly over time. So I'm working on that currently. But the more accessories I buy for this camera, the more videos you're going to get about those accessories, and I'll share with you what I think about them. Another question I get asked is, can you change the lens on the Sony ZV-1? You can't change the lens. It's obviously built in the way that when you turn the camera on, the lens pops out. You can't change that lens. The only thing you can do is, for shots like this at the minute, I'm not really enjoying the close in lens. Like you'll notice, you're not really getting, you kind of want it out there for vlogging purposes, but it's just not comfortable to hold your arm all the way out there, so you need a wide angle lens really. And with not being able to add a lens to the Sony ZV-1, it is a bit of an issue, but there are little workarounds. There are actually lenses you can buy that can fit around the lens that's built into the Sony ZV-1. I'm actually looking into getting one myself, but I just need to pick the right one and make sure it's healthy for the camera and that it doesn't damage the motor for the zoom on the Sony ZV-1 lens that's built in. Some of these are the ULANZI wide angle lens, the Gizmo wide angle and macro lens, which is both in one, and you can add ND filters and Pro Mist filters and anything you want to that, and the Neewer lens as well. I'm kind of looking at all three of these at the minute and just weighing up options, seeing which is the best and just doing some research first. But as I say, when I get something like this, I will review it here on the channel. So I got a comment on my last video about the Sony ZV-1 saying that the video quality was really shaky and I needed to use the stabilizer. At the time, obviously, I'd had not even 5 minutes with the camera. I'd not managed to find all the settings and where everything was, so I hadn't found the stabilization tool. But I want to answer the question, does it have stabilization? Yes, it does. At the minute, I have it completely off, so you'll notice it is pretty shaky. It actually has 3 modes of stabilization. This is completely off, and then it has standard, which looks a bit like this, which you might be able to tell is a little bit less shaky, a bit more smooth, nicer to look at. And then the third is the active stabilization, which is a lot heavier, but it does suffer from cropping. So this is what this looks like. So as you can see, that's cropped in massively. I have to really stretch my arm, and I'm only just fitting in. It's nice, it's got good stabilization built into it. It's not the best. You're obviously better off going for the Xeon Crane M2 for a stabilizer for the camera. 1,000,000% always get a stabilizer. It's always going to be better than whatever's built into a camera. But it's pretty good and it works well. I mean, I'm like shaking it here and it's moving pretty smoothly, but that cropping is just a big issue. It's not great. Next question is the Sony ZV-1 good for YouTube videos? And my answer is it's absolutely the perfect camera for YouTube videos. It's super affordable. I picked mine up for about £800 and is literally perfect for the YouTube vlogger. And even if you want to use it to shoot your talking head pieces, like what I do on my channel, you can go and look at my other videos and you can see the quality of it. It will work for anything you want it to. And you can use it for live streaming. You can connect it up to OBS Studio and stuff like that, connect it to a computer and use it as an external camera. Which is super useful. Yeah, I'd say it's absolutely perfect for the YouTuber. It's super small, compact, you can take it anywhere with you. It's not gonna get in the way. And yeah, I'd say it's perfect for YouTube. I love it. Another question, is it the best camera for B-roll? Now, a lot of people use the Sony ZV-1 as a bit of a B-roll beast. It is great for shooting B-roll. It's probably not the best camera you can use for shooting B-roll, but in terms of an affordable, compact camera you can take anywhere and just get B-roll shots on the go. It's the easiest camera for getting B-roll. I'll overlay some B-roll footage that I've got of my little walk today and you can have a look at kind of the quality of the B-roll. Obviously, you can shoot in high frame rate mode in this camera, which is amazing, which means you can get those nice crispy slow-mo shots. And yeah, any B-roll that I get for my channel, I use on this camera. Is it a good photography camera? This is a question I've been asked as well. I haven't actually had the chance to properly take this out and do some photography on it. I've only really shot video on it, but this afternoon I've been out shooting some photos on this thing. It's beautiful sunny weather, so I tried to capture as much as I can in the photos. The light can be a bit of a pain sometimes with it being so intense, but you can have a look at some of these photos I'll overlay on screen and you can be the judge of whether you think this is a good photography camera. I'll definitely do some more photography on this camera in the future. I have plans to go on holiday this year. I'll probably take it with me, take some photos of the nice towns and stuff that we go to. But yeah, at the moment I haven't taken lots of photos on this, so I'm not really one to cast my judgment, but you can cast your own judgment by the photos that are on screen. Okay, so the last question I'm going to answer today is, a lot of people compare this camera to the Sony ZV-E10, which is basically the same camera with just a few little differences. But a lot of people want to know, what is the better camera? Is it the Sony ZV-1? Is it the ZV-E10? Which should I buy? Now, I personally have not had a go with the Sony ZV-E10, so I can only give a full semi-biased opinion on the Sony ZV-1, as that is the only one I own, the only one I can actually have a play around with, because my YouTube channel is not at dizzying heights where Sony send me free gear. But if anyone from Sony is watching, I'm more than happy to review gear, so send me some free shit. I'm happy to review anything. What an absolute beg I am. But yeah, some of the differences between the two cameras, as I said before, you can't attach a lens to the Sony ZV-1. You can only get sort of purpose-built attachments, but you can't actually buy just standard lenses and put it on the Sony ZV-1, which is a big shame. On the Sony ZV-E10 you can do that. So if you are looking to sort of get a beginner camera but build up your lenses and build up your gear and stuff, the Sony ZV-E10 is probably better for that. But they're both very affordable cameras and they're both priced very similar. So it's kind of the choice is up to you. Built-in lens on the Sony ZV-1 is great and I have no issue with it. It's just more if you wanted to do some macro photography or anything like that and you want a proper lens or a big wide angle lens or just any lens you want, you can put that on a Sony ZV-E10 and anything will basically be compatible with it. Sony ZV-1 though, in my opinion, is probably better for those that are beginning in filmmaking and want a really compact camera and just basically take anywhere. You can fit it in your pocket, you can take it in any camera bag. It's just super easy. You can just whip it out, turn it on and record, and it's just dead simple. ZV-1 also can shoot in 4K and in a high frame rate, so you can get those nice crispy slow-mo shots like you've seen previously in this video. And it's just a really nice camera and it feels nice. A lot of what I've heard about the ZV-E10 is the sort of materials that are used in the ZV-E10 kind of feels a little bit cheap, whereas the Sony ZV-1 feels like a nice expensive camera, even though it's not technically an expensive camera at all. It just feels like it's built better. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully I've answered some of your questions about the Sony ZV-1. I'm going to go get an ice cream and maybe a nice little cider and chill out and enjoy this beautiful weather. Beautiful and awful at the same time, but I'm trying to get the best out of it. But thank you for watching. See you again soon. Cheers.